Hello, hello. So I got my speedy rook, and I'm gonna put a LDO Leviathan on it. So yeah, let's do that. So I'll be putting it on and then setting up on all the config stuff. That's gonna be fun. The Leviathan is already set up. The Pi, it's been used on another printer, so that's not gonna be an issue. I'm just gonna have to redo all the config for it. So let me get started. So this is my ROOK 2020 Mark II Extreme Edition. Only non-modified part on this is the Z-axis. That is, Z-axis is completely stock. The front idlers are almost stock. They're printed stock, but I drilled them out to use M5 instead of M3s for tightening the belts. Yeah, so just making a little bit of room here. I also want to see if I can put a orbiter on this or an HGX Lite. I want to try the HGX Lite just to see how far I can push it. BMG is just not enough. It can't go fast enough. So yeah, let's turn this around. So I tried to use a Big Tech Kraken on this, but I couldn't get the 2160 drivers to work with my 2804 motors. So I'm going 5160s on the Leviathan, 48 volts. That is underneath the printer, so in the stock location. So I need to put on this adapter because this plate is for the Kraken, and this is my adapter that I just printed. I just realized I need heat sets. So let's do that. I got my heat press, but I had to steal a couple of the extrusions from it, so actually not a couple, one, to build this. So I'll remake that with some other scrap parts later on, but not right now. So let's heat up this sucker. Let's find some heat sets. Don't hit my mouse, please. And if anyone is watching and want me to adjust the music, please let me know. I don't want that to be an annoyance or something, so. Okay, let's turn you off, and I'll just put you in the vise. Here we go. So now that Leviathan should just fit on there. And it does. Yep. So I can put this on to there. And I should be able to just reuse the hardware that I just used on this. Let me put that somewhere safe. Yeah. Target speed is however fast I can do. If I can get to 100k, that would be great. But I'm not sure of the hot end yet, if that can handle that kind of speed. I might have to modify the actual hot end of this. Because there's one little detail that I don't like. Let's see here. So I have been trying a couple of different motors, mainly 2004 motors. I do have Stepper Online 2004s. They're fairly good. Even at 48 volts, these can handle it quite well. Not well enough. So I tried going just up in size, same model but different size. So these are 48s and these are 60s. And the issue with the 60s is that they can't go as fast as the 48s because of the heavy weight of the internals. So they have the same speed, they don't have the same acceleration. They do have a lot more torque though, so it has that going for it. But I need more acceleration, so right now there's some 2804s on here. Also called Speedy Powers, and I hope that's enough to do what I want, but I guess if all else fails, I'll go 4-wheel drive. Alright, that's the adapter on. Let's put this thing on here. So that's on for now. Next is wiring this guy up. Let me know if you want me to just swap the camera over to look straight at this, but alrighty then. Time to do all the wiring. So I just want to get this USB cable nicely out of the way, and I might be able to do that by going around the board a couple of times. That's just about perfect. And then the Wi-Fi, I can just shove that in back there as well. All right, let's start looking at the connectors and all that stuff. I'll bring up the manual for the board. Let's see. All right. So LDO IFN, there we go. So I'm just looking for a pinout of this board. Let's see. Let's put up so I can, I'm gonna set it up so I can share my screen. No, not you. Yes, you. Open a new window. Just gonna make sure I have the chat available, and then let's go ahead and do add display capture. That works, right? Let's put that back so we can see. All right. So I'll go into the GitHub repo as well, but this is mainly what I need. There's one thing I want to check. Voltage Surrey. Hello, John. It is me. So thermistors. Because the hot end that I'm using has a PT1000, so I need to figure out if there's something I need to do for that. So let's see. Pull it from the Okay, let's get the simple stuff out of the way first. I'll need some motor wires. All right. So, motors. That one and that one. And then I'll plug that into stepper 0. That one into stepper 1. And then I'm just going to go get some wiring stuff that so I can just quickly make this a little bit more neat. All right, so let me swap back to there. So motor wires going in, and I'm just gonna, because I'm gonna work on the board itself, I want to get as much of the wiring away from the board as possible. So I'll do this a little bit crudely and not neat. This is more function over form. So I'll do that. Then I have a little bit of wiring wrap thingy majig. All right. All right, so that's done. So next would be the extruder. All right, yeah, let's get this out. see. So that is the Z-axis. I'll put that on that one. And then the extruder I'll put on that one. Actually, no, that's the opposite ones. I want these two to be down here, stepper 0. And so these are the high voltage steppers. So this will be 48 volts, the rest are 24 volts. So I'll set up stepper 2 for Z, just because the wiring length worked out great, and then stepper 4 for the extruder. That should be good. We can move around on that stuff later. So that is the end stop. So I'm gonna check the wiring. End stop should be here. They are, yep. So Z end stop is a simple little switch. I'm just using an end stop on the base, under the bed. No fancy stuff on this. I don't have the tool board or the weight capabilities on the tool head. So cooling fans, I'll have to do multi-pin or split them, I'm not sure, but so what's the fan outputs here? It's so tiny. Oh, there's a RPM sensor on all of them. Okay. And that's running on 24 volts, so I'll do that one. And then the other one, you can go on that one. I'll swap that one down there. Then I'll do hot end. Hot end on there. Alright, what's left now? So that's power. Bed. Yeah. Alright, so bed thermistor is TH1. And then power for the bed. Let me get my little screwdriver. Where did you go? There you go. So heater, bed. There you go. Next would be thermistor for the hot end, and that needs to be repinned into a 2-pin. So right now I still don't know if the PT1000 is going to work on the Leviathan. I'm assuming it will, because most of these type of high-end boards have PT1000 support. If not, I don't know what to do. I might have to get a thermistor from a different hot end, try to see if I can make it work that way, but Guess we're gonna find out soon enough. All right. All right, thermistor 0. So now that should be everything connected. That is my old data cable, so I don't need that. And I need to have my laptop on the table. So I'll just get rid of it real quick. All right, now let's get the hot end wires in. And I don't need to supply additional power for the bed because that plug does that and that plug does 48 volts. Okay, so I'll just get this heater in. Oh yeah, the Pi needs extra power. It's not a big problem. I'll just run some 24 volts to that. Let's get you guys up here, out of the way, like so. All right. Okay, that looks better. Let's see if I can make that a little bit better. Yes. Okay. Board is set up. So let's see if I can get to the Pi. Oh, I need power to the Pi first. Do I have some extra power wire somewhere close? Nope. Is that enough? That is enough. Yep. Oh, and in case anyone's wondering, this is not a permanent setup. Ideally, I want to get a specific board just for this, and Leviathan is way overkill, so I might just get something that can do two steppers, 48 volts, and then put in a Pico or a Micro or Mini or something. Power. Screwdriver. Of course, the Pi isn't labeled with which one is plus and which one's minus, so let's go to the wiki. let's look at the Pi 2. So I'm wondering if the music is not loud enough. There we go. I can't hear the music myself. I forgot my headset, so let me know if the music's too loud. I can see that's too loud, so okay. So that's not practical at all. Okay, so ground is out. That's easy. Let's just make sure that's fully opened and then put in. This is not elegant in any way, but alright, so do that, tighten that, check it for shorts. No shorts, all good. Then power. Oh, good. It's the first time I'm using this music, so I'm still not 100% sure on it, but I like it. I've been listening to it on my free time. So let's hope I don't get into trouble with it. Shouldn't, but I've gotten into trouble where there's no music, so alright, so that's 24 volts for the Pi. Now that's 24 volts for the board. That's the 48 volts. Alright, so let's put that back away. Bye-bye. Hi, Michael, by the way. Alright, Pi, power Pi. No, power the board. Yes, power the board. I'll push that through there, go up here, and then plus is there, minus is there. These are really long, but it's actually okay. That's good. Let's check that also for shorts. I just like to make sure that I don't short. It's like the simplest way for me to look for errors. Okay, so there is a slight resistance, but is that the board or is that the let's see if there's a resistance between that and that. So that's the, okay, so there's nothing there. Now there is resistance there. Okay, so I should be fine. Should be fine. Should be. Yeah. All right, let's get the high voltage connected as well. And by high voltage, I mean 48 volts. So that is a simple case of, yeah, I'll trim these. No, I won't. 'Cause I don't know what I'm putting in next. So, that one. Oh, that one's plus and that one's minus, so that one goes there. So I've been using Stepper Online 2004s, but they just don't have enough torque. So I tried to go up to 60 millimeter 2004s. So I went from that. That's a Stepper Online 2004S, and I tried to go to that, which is an LDO 2004S, but the max power version, so it's 60 millimeter long. But that is too heavy. It has too much mass, so it just couldn't accelerate. So actually the 48 millimeter one is faster than that one, but that one has a too much torque, not enough speed. This one has not enough torque, enough speed. So I'm going with, where do I have those? I've been messing around with the motors for so long now that I've lost track of them. Here we go. So I have, so these are the high temp version, but I have, focus, stop focusing my face. So that's the LDO Superpower high temps. I have the normal ones in here. There's no performance difference between those two, so not worried. So right now I'm using a 2004, the 2004 on the extruder, but it's not good enough. I need something faster there too, so I might swap to a Superpower at 24 volts. And yeah, I should be ready to power this up. So let me see if I have the IP of this Pi saved. Yes, I do. Okay. In theory, I should be able to connect power. And when I click this button, nothing should happen except a lot of fans might kick on, and the LEDs should kick on. So lots of LEDs. No fans on. That's a good sign, because Clipper's not running yet. So in case anyone's wondering, the Pi here is a Victreotech Pi 2. Only reason I'm using it is because it was there and it's already set up for this board. So I can just go in and make changes instead. There goes the fans, which means there's a connection. So mainsail is up. Not sure why the fans are on, but one of the fans are on. Let's just do that until I know something else. Oh yeah, I have a hot end fan set to 100%. We can fix that. So first of all, I'll switch to, so you can see my screen. So I'll grab this printer config and I'll rename that to scalable because that's where this came from. All right. So just looking through this guy. No, that is not for this. So mainfill, well, that's the whole thing, because I've always used mainsail, so I don't think I'm the right person to say what's better. I'm using mainsail because I've always used mainsail. You know what, Clipper is way out of date, I understand the risk, start update. So I'm just used to using mainsail. Fluid had a little bit of an advantage when it came to editing the configs on the when you're in the UE, but mainsail just one-upped them on that as well. So yeah, I'm just using mainsail because that's what I'm used to using. I have been using Fluid on some printers at some times, but I just default. Functionally, they do the same, more or less. Mainsail's a little bit cleaner. Fluid might have a tiny advantage when it comes to advanced setup, but meh. Oh yeah, maybe we should do Danger Clipper, because homing for 5160s on Danger Clipper is way easier. So and yes, I know it's been renamed, I just can't remember what it is. Oh, yeah, I'm on a mobile connection, so Calico. There it is. Why is this here? Go home, you're drunk. Okay. So I'm gonna use Caillou. Hello. Keyboard not registering. Oh, Windows key is not registering. Oh well. That's SSH Q at 192.168.0. Where am I? 130. Yes. CD. Caillou. Yep, Caillou's here. So let's. Yeah. then I'll add the thing. Then Clipper repo URL, I'll put in there we go, copy. And then because they changed something here, I'll do that, and branch main. Oh, there's a little typo. Repo URL master, not main. That's what they call it. So let's see, does that work? Control X, yes. No. No. Okay, let's do settings. Oh. I don't think Kaya's been updated for a while. So set custom Clipper repository. File not found. Okay. You know what? Back. Let's update Caillou first. To isn't there an option to just update Caillou? Let's see. I'll probably have to just set up. Let's try again and enable Caillou v6. There it is. It wasn't asking me earlier. And then version 6, yes. Yes. And then S for setting. Switch Clipper source repository. And it's not giving me Q. That file Caillou.config. So nano Caillou.cfg. Why did it do that? Just add another line. And then do that. Hey Viking. Yes. Now let's open Caillou. And I want font v6, yes. And settings, switch to Calico. There we go. All right, so breaking it, yes. Same as I've been doing just about every day the last week and a half. I took 2 days off because I was frustrated because I didn't get the 2804s to work on the Kraken, which is annoying because that would have been fun. But now the Kraken is probably going into my scalable as a new build. I might do a 4-wheel drive scalable as well. Or I just make something completely new. Don't know. Alright, so I'm using Calico. And Calico is installed. Okay, so that's good. So let's go into this guy. And that is done. So now I just need to set up the config for this. Shouldn't be rocket science, but let's see if I can first connect. Right, and an error is good because yes, I didn't copy that. Alright, so let's get a fresh Leviathan. Ooh, nice, Viking. Something you can talk about, or can we talk about it later? Because I want to know. So this is more or less just a trident with none of the fancy stuff. So I'll just copy that, go in here, make a new file. There.cfg-ish. Open that, and I'll paste that. And that should be good for now. Don't show hidden files, don't show backup files. Alright. Yeah, we can talk about it later, that's fine. Alright, so this I have from, let's just open another one here, duplicate, because I do have this running from before, so so B stepper left, HV stepper 0. Which one's which? I'll figure that out later. So I'll go into the printer scalable, and that is the serial that I need. And then I'm gonna set it up to do senseless homing, and I've also had that running before, so we can set that up. So and stop pin. Then So position max and position min, that's gonna be 120 ish. I'll fine tune that later, but homing speed 80, position max and position min 120, 120, and homing speed 80. Retract distance, that's okay. Now there's some stuff we need from Calico. I could fire up the laptop because that has a working config for this, but no. Alright, let's just keep looking here. So, from current point 8 is good for now. For testing, step Y, yes. Position end stop is 0. No. 20. Position. I don't have position end stop on X. Oh yeah, of course, that was the Z. All right, so 0 stepper is the one that they're using for Z. So I'll swap mine over that way. I don't have to change too much. Stepper 0, okay. And then stepper 1, Z1 I can remove, Z2 I can remove. Bye bye. Extruder is set up to stepper 0. What? No. Connected to stepper 0. But the step pins PD4, PD3, PD10. So that is not stepper 0. Let's find out where that is. So I should have. I think I'll have to go to the weak Calico documentation. But oh, I have it here. Oh, stupid me. So I need to look at some pins. I need specific pin names for stepper 4. See, that's labeled extruder, so that's what I want to do. So stepper 4, PC10, PC9, PC8. So PD10, PD9. Enable is PD13. I can look for that enable pin. PD13. PD10. Is there a typo? I'm not blind, right? I see PD13, PD10, PD9, PD12. And if I go here, okay, PD10, PD9, PD13. PD11 UART. Keep opening the wrong one. PD11 UART. So stepper 4. And that's where it is connected. Okay. So that one is good. don't have a probe, so I'll take that away. Now fans, I'm gonna have to mix. I'm gonna have to multi-pin a couple of fans, so let me see. We're just gonna get, the laptop is already on, so I'm just gonna use it for this. Because I have the config for that setup. So let's go up to stepper X and let's just clean this up. So homing positive direction, go away. Homing retract, I'm going to set that to 60. And home, and that is 40. And then use sensorless homing true. Oops. So position end stop is 124. Full steps per rotation is 200. Position min I don't need really. Position max is 124 as well. Homing speed 100. Yes, I'm homing really quickly. For sensorless homing, that's better. Alright, so on the stepper X, I can put in home current. That's going to be 0.6, actually 5. And then I'll also add in driver SGT 1. I'll probably have to change that later. And then for stepper Y, I can more or less just copy all of this for stepper Y. So position, okay, let's first, I'm first gonna clean this up. Oops. Clean that up. Clean that up. And then from everything from position min, position end stop down, that I can copy. Can I? Position end stop is 120. Okay, so homing speed and down I can copy. So homing speed. Then I'll add in home current with the 2209. And then I'll remove stealth chop. Remove stealth chop. Alright, so stepper Z and stop is PC3. Is that what it's connected to? PC3, yes. Position max is for the Z. 190. Position min -5, that's good. And I need gear ratio. Homing speed is 50. Second homing speed 33. Yeah, that's good. Gear ratio. 4:1. Alright. So run current on that motor is quite low, so I can set it 1.6. So the next thing now would be extruder. Let's see. Rotation distance is 7.37. Microsteps is 16 because I don't need to spend data on that. Nozzle diameter is 4. Heater pin, that's okay. Minimum extrude temp, I want to set that to 0 because I want to play around with it. Max power, no, 320. Oh yeah, the thermistor. So sensor type should be just it's a 1000, so let's actually just go to that. So I need to go to the little boys room, so if you would excuse me a tiny bit, I need to go there. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So let's look at some sensor type. Directly connected P1000 should have a pull-up resistor of 4700. So I'm gonna need to put in PT1000 there, and then add a pull-up resistor to 47, sorry. So sensor type is PT1000, and then pull-up resistor is 4700. But now here is the big question. The thermistors have a 2200 pull-up resistor, so do I just do 4700 minus 2200 and then add that in? I'm thinking I do. So that's 2500, isn't it? I'm really unsure right now. So 47 minus 22 is 25. Okay. For the extruder, max temp, min temp. Let's see if anything happens. I am noticing that the hot end fan isn't spinning on restarts, but sensor type in section heater bed must be specified. That makes sense. So heater bed, sensor type is a generic 3950. Max power 0.6. Doesn't really matter. Let's see. Z positions in section Z tilt. I don't need Z tilt, so I can turn that off. So safe C home, bye bye. Nothing safe where we're going. Keyboard's acting up. Okay, so do it the manual way then. And I don't need Z tilt. Board pins is okay. I don't want these things. I don't like those macros. Alright, now I want to mix, let's see, I want to add a multi-pin. So let's just do that. So there's a fan here, and then so let's put it in here, and then that is a multi-pin part cooling. Yeah. The keyboard keeps switching to English. Underscore. And then so PB7, so I'm gonna use multi fan equals part underscore cooling. There should be a space right there. And then on the multi-pin, I need to set up the pins, and that is PD7. Let me check on the board. So I'm going to use, oh, there's a bright light. Let's make sure. Go in here and look at the fan. So that's PB7 and PB3. So fans. Fan 0 is, let's see, I want to get this right. So the hot end fan is PB3, and PB3 is fan 1, okay? See here, fans. PB3 is fan 1. There's a really bright LED here that's messing with my vision. So fan 0 and fan 1, that's the hot end fan. Yep. So PB7, fan 0 and fan 2 are going to be the hot end fans, or the part cooling fan, sorry. So fan PB7 and PF7? PF and PB7, yes. So I'll just go here and say PB7 and PF7. So the controller fan, I don't have one. Turn that off. I probably should have one, but that's not something I'm worried about right now. Unknown pin chip name multifan. Did I mistype something? Let's make this a little bit easier. Okay, so I can go down to fan. Oh. Multi-pin. I think I've written this wrong, haven't I? It should be multi-pin, and I've said multi-fan. Yeah, that's not right. Multi-pin part cooling. TMZ virtual end stop requires diag pin config. Oops. Yep. So diag pin is there. Just need to uncomment it. We're moving ahead. Rotation distance in stepper Z must be specified. The rotation distance is stepper Z. And that's rotation distance 40, right? Double check on my little cheat sheet. Rotation distance is 40, yes. Minimum extrude temp and section extruder must have minimum of 10. All right. Stepper. Stepper Z, extruder. Why does that? It does have minimum of 10. Wasn't that the error? Option min extrude temp in section extruder must have minimum of 10. Min extrude temp. Okay. So that needs to be more or the same as the min temp. That's okay. Just be like that. Home current is not valid in section TMZ. It's not? Isn't it 5160 home current? Alright, I'll take it off. But that is a 5160 calico feature. Hey, we are there. So that's somewhere. So I'll include my mainsail. So include mainsail.cfg. That if that works, I can just pull in all of my things. Yep. So now I can go to this guy. Not have comp. And then here. And I don't need my homing macros. Alright. Don't have a camera, so let's just turn that off. Okay. Go bye-bye. Alright. So, let me turn camera back on. So, all right. Whoa. So I guess it's time to see if this thing homes. Let's first look at buzzing the steppers. So that should be X. It's not. Didn't like that. So I'm getting supplier short. Usually means there's an issue with the wiring. Now these, okay, so let's look at the other ones first then. So these are straight wired. Let's buzz the Z motor. That works. And then buzz the extruder motor. That works. So the X and the Y are the odd ones out. So what was the error? Guess I'm gonna have to just Google that. So I'm getting an error that says DRB status, short to supply. Okay, let's sit down. I tend to focus a little better if I do that. Now, how did I set this up previously? I can go in and look at the old setup. So interpolation is false and the sense resistor is 0.75. So on the new one, sense resistor is 0.75, interpolate is false. Alright. Diag pin is on, PG1. Diag pin on this one is on, PG1. So what is different? The motors themselves. So what if I connect 2004 to that driver instead? So I'm just swapping out one of the motors to another motor, and I'll go back here and do a firmware restart, and then dashboard, then I'll buzz Y, which is the wrong one, of course. Okay, so that works. Now that tells me that there's something different with these motors. But what? Is it the, let's see. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check the pinout on these motors and check the pinout on these motors and see what's different. So these ones are crossed, and these ones are not crossed. So I'll try that first. I'll try to just swap the pins first. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my tweezer, and then I'm gonna depin the wire and swap the middle two. And I'm thinking it's going to be easier to do it on the board side. So I'll quickly depin. I did the worst tweezer that I had, the least sharp one. So I'll depin. Then, oh, come on, it snuck back in. So that one is swapped. And then I'll do the other one. Let's test it again. Oh, hold on. Oh, well, yeah. So I think you know what? I'm looking at these wires and they look different. So I'm gonna grab a set of wires that haven't been changed. And I know that because I've never used these twisted wires. That's what came with the 2804s. So that's the stock wires on stock motors. So that one, they did name these here, didn't they? B stepper left, yes. HV stepper 0. HV stepper 0. Alright, so that one goes there. And that one goes there. Nothing to it but to do it, I guess. Let's try to buzz. Yep, that fixed it. And that's left. Hello, robot. All right. Do I just send it? Try to home it? That didn't work. Early homing trigger on second home. Yes. So, we can probably set the sensing to 0, 0. See if that makes the difference. Home X. Nope. All right. 2. Shave. Nope. All right. Now, how can I change this to work? Let's try this. Set kinematic position x0 x equals 0, y equals 0, and z equals 0. Now, okay, I'm just not able to move at all. So, is it because there's not enough current? Because it's 0.8. These are powerful motors, but that should not be an issue. Yes, I tried just increasing the run current on X and Y. Yep, that worked. So the issue is the homing sense is too low. Let's see if this works. So I'm disabling motors and then home X. That worked. Home Y. Can't complain about that, can I? Let's home Z. That is the wrong direction. Printer X, it's the Z direction. Invert. Now let's see if this works. I'm gonna manually do that and stop just to be sure. Still going up. So stepper Z, position end stop. Oh no, position end stop is not at -0.5. That is at 190 something. I'm just gonna set it to 190 for now. Position max 190. Position min -5. Okay, let's try this. Home all again. Yep. All right. Nothing to it but to do it. So I have a little torture macro set up, and I just noticed that it's moving in the wrong direction. So it's homing in the wrong direction. Is it? Or no? 110, 110. Yeah, that is 110, 110. Move out of range. Of course, because that is the wrong thing. You know what? I'm going to grab the macros from this thing here. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm just going to send it to myself. I don't have anything set up here. I'm emailing it to myself. Compose to Canada Creations. Alright, so I'm opening up my email. I'm not going to show that on screen, of course. And then I can copy my full macro thing. And then I'll go in here and just do macros. I'll just make one file that's called macros. Macros.cfg. And then I'll go into that one. So save that one. And I'll go into printer. And bye-bye, and bye-bye, and bye-bye. All right, so that should be all my macros from this existing setup back. Hello, shrimp father. All right, so homing. That works. Okay, so we're homed. Now I should be able to, of course, all of that stuff is gone. Simple. I'm gonna do what's happening here. It's not able to see my macros, or I messed up. Yep, I messed up. That was the wrong macros, or not all the macros, I should say. So I'll do that again. I'll copy that. And I'll go to my email and I'll send it to myself. And send. This is a ROOK 2020 with a 120 bed. Alright, so. There we go. Is there something called? Yep. Okay. So I'll go into my macros and just add this. It just looks big. Well, it's compact. There's a lot of stuff happening in a tiny space. I think that's the thing. Torture, yes. Save. I'll just turn off some of my macros now. So I don't hit something on accident. Set pause. Don't need that. Torture, that's what I need. Yep. Alright, so let's try my little shake macro. So there's two things that makes this look different. The camera is a wide angle lens, so that kind of bulks it up and squishes it down. And the total length here is total length of this is 300 instead of a 200, so it's taller than a normal ROOK by 100 millimeters. All right, so that is working. So that's better than the Kraken was able to do. Should I just send this and see how fast I can do that? So I know it should do 600 at 60,000. I'll set square corner to 100. Didn't do that. Just so why didn't that work? Because it should. Let's do 400. Oh, it's trying to do 600,000 acceleration. That might be it. All right, so we might do. I might have to add auto tune to this just to clean it up a little bit, but let's try to do interpolation on. 0.75, 1.75. So okay, so it's not able to do what I previously done on 24 volts. That makes no sense. So, is there anything on the Leviathan that I need to do differently for 48 volts? No, there is not. So why are these motors just not working? Let me do that. Let's look through this thing. First of all, just bye-bye. All right. So this is a 1.8 degree stepper. That is a known fact. And senseless homing is working, and 5160s Does Calico have a line for 2209s, or sorry, 5160s that need voltage? So, yeah. Home current. Is it just not using SPI? Because there is an SPI bus in there. Let's double check that it's getting 48 volts. That's easy. Yep, 48 volts. And this board doesn't have any diag pins to set or anything like that. It's just set up to do all this on its own. Right? Which means... Are the motors bad? I mean... Could swap in the... Let's see. So I could swap in the high temp motors and just to check, because I haven't connected these to anything. That would at least let me check if everything's okay. Other thing I can do is just go to back to the 2004s and see how they perform. This is annoying me. I do have to talk to LDO about that. Let's have a look in the GitHub for the config. So let me switch to here. Let's have a look at the stock config. I think it's time for TMZ Autotune. Oh, my internet connection is screaming right now. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna add this to my Manraker config. Send restart. And then I'm gonna add in these two lines. But I need to go and find my motors. So let's go to motor database and then (2804). So these say max current 2.8. Does that mean I can actually run them at 2.8? Oh, I can also specify here by just doing voltage 48. let's have a look here. So these motors get hot quick. So that's 600 millimeters at 40k, but I want to go way higher. Oh shit. Misclick. That's 600 acceleration, not 60,000 acceleration. Okay, 60,000 acceleration instead. Nope. So auto tune. So let's go higher. 2.2. I need to increase the homing Z speed. Because that's boring. Alright, let's try 600. 25 square corner and 40,000 again, just to see what happens. Also, motor cooling might be a thing here. And drivers might need some cooling too. Let's go slightly higher. All right, doesn't like that. Yeah, it's already skipping, and it's not even slightly close to being as fast as I used to on 24 volts. So something is wrong. This will have to need to I would need to get some more information from the config and all that stuff. So I'm gonna give up for now. It's 1 a.m. I want to go home, play some video games with Vikings. So I'll see you in another video or live stream or whatever. I am making a video about this whole thing, sort of like like a vlog of some sorts, where I'm just doing small cuts of what I'm doing and what's happening in more detail. So I'll see you guys at another time. Bye.